Forum 2023. Alors que nous allons pouvoir commencer dans un instant, nous vous invitons tous à prendre place. Merci. Everybody, His Excellency Professor Robert Dossé, Togolese Minister of Foreign Affairs, General Integration and Togolese Aboard, Honorable Ministers and Ambassadors, distinguished guests, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 days of intensive intellectual activities, I am honored to say you are all welcome to the closing ceremony of the Lome Peace and Security Forum 2023. To this end, we will be listening to 3 official speeches. First, please welcome the chairperson of the LPSF, Lome Peace and Security Forum, Mr. Abdiset Muse Ali, former Minister of Foreign Affairs of Somalia, as he presents the summary of the deliberations. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests and participants, experts. Thank you very much for your participation and inputs for the last few days here and for your experience, generously sharing your expertise and engaging in such as fruitful, constructive, open, and frank exchanges throughout last 3 days. I would like to thank the ministers who came from different places, who have been with us, speakers, experts, and the youth who traveled to Lome in order to share their knowledge, experience, and questions and comments. I would like also to thank many of the envoys and former prime ministers and former ministers who were also with us. I also would like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Togo, the team of Lome Peace and Security Forum, and the government and the people of Togo, their leadership and support for us to facilitate the reflection of high quality exchanges you have seen in the last few days, especially on the 5 panels that we have seen, specifically around the topic of transition to democratic governance. So I will just go through the summaries of, I was drafted to share with you some of the summaries. The first day we had a ministerial session where also experts were there. Ministers also are experts. The issues raised were the need to listen to non-state actors, to hold discussions with difficult people and issues, and to discuss and dialogue about impossible problems. It was recommended that the forum should create a niche for itself as a different to what was experienced. Some even mentioned it should not be a talk shop, it should be do shop. Repeatedly, it was mentioned that we need to pursue solidarity with our African people and countries. There was a mention of the need to recognize Africa's past and the role of external actors. And repeatedly, it was mentioned Africa needs to be respected and treated as an equal partner. And it was also raised we should be very careful of branding other people's problems as African problem. Some of the countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger are going through a very difficult time and they are not receiving the solidarity from our African brothers and sisters and countries. It was mentioned also there is inequality in the application of ideals like human rights and protection of human beings. And then punishment was said to be destroying the solidarity and compassion of Africa. That was ministerial meeting that some of you were not, but then we started the first day with the panels. The first panel was about factors of fragility, history and legacy of colonialism was mentioned, structural adjustments, and the problems it caused to Africa. Imposition of leaders in African countries has led to insecurity. Coup d'etats as a consequences of these impositions were also highlighted. Interference in African affairs was also repeatedly said. Various political and social entities in Africa are looking for self-definition. Issues such as migration and unemployment, lack of integration and solidarity, weakness of judiciary, democracy, whether it's African way or in the context of specific countries and the local realities. Again, sovereignty comes back, and then Africa should pursue politics of cooperation. Insurgencies, different insurgencies were mentioned, Boko Haram and others, and how they affect institutions and governments. Young people are as a great resource for Africa in a situations of fragility. The unconstitutional changes in government and military transitions have to create stability, and they will prepare the ground of further coup d'etat unless they deepen the conducive environment where the militaries go back to their specialty, which is to protect the nation and the institutions. The internal, external, and global sources of fragility also. The key messages were around those. The need to create vision for the future was also mentioned. And here, if I may paraphrase some saying attributed to Aristotle, which says, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. We, as a whole, are greater and stronger, and we need to pull away from specific issues